Welcome home, baby. Nobody knows your Datsun better than your Nissan dealer. And now he has the greatest service for your car ever. Welcome home service. Your car will be protected by Nissan's finest factory-trained mechanics. It'll be welcomed by real friends, genuine Nissan parts, and you'll get a welcome from the people who know and love your car. Nobody knows your car like your Datsun dealer. Welcome home, baby.
Strength, stamina, tone, agility, striving, sweating, reaching, stretching for fitness. Be good to yourself at the Longmont Athletic Club. Call 772-4700 for membership information.
Winter strikes hard in Longmont. We'll tell you how to cope with the cold and what to do with that old Christmas tree. The city has a plan to recycle them. Hello and welcome to Longmont This Week. I'm Amy Batten. A town meeting provided the forum Tuesday night for Longmont citizens to air their grievances to city council members. And the issue of snow removal provided a springboard for citizen comments. Members of the city staff explained Longmont's snow removal process to a larger than anticipated crowd at the senior center. Community Development Director Phil Del Vecchio explained why extra funds were available to allow city crews to plow beyond priority streets into residential areas after the December 26th snowstorm. Last time on Longmont This Week, City Street Superintendent Dave Ludy told us the city operates on a priority snow removal system, clearing main arterials before proceeding to less traveled residential streets. But despite the city's efforts to plow everywhere this week, some citizens were still dissatisfied with city crews' work.
I would say that I think the city done a reasonably good job of cleaning out the snow. Down our way, we have, I would say, a big problem in that since you four-laned Hover Road and the fifth turning lane, you push out 2.5 lanes of snow into our cul-de-sacs. And then the city comes along and cleans a 6-foot bicycle path and drags that out into our opening of the cul-de-sac. And sometimes we have snow this high. Well, before we can shovel that out to get out, here comes the snowplow and fills our gap in again.
And it ties in with the fact that what we're trying to do with regard to opening the alleyways up for pedestrian travel, as well as there's a lot of vehicles that move in and out and around and through in the alleys. And I'm speaking very specifically with regard to the alleys both east and west of Main Street. If you have been down in that area now, you will notice that those things are solid masses of rutted ice.
Another source of concern for Longmont residents vocalized at Tuesday's meeting was also snow-related. Some citizens have not shoveled their sidewalks since the late December snowstorm. That means slow-moving pedestrian traffic, and the city code enforcement supervisor has her hands full with complaints.
Unfortunately, there's a large group of citizens who have yet not cleared their sidewalks. School started yesterday. There are a lot of children who have to walk in the street because there is no sidewalk. I myself am guilty. I was out of town when the snow hit, and I did get it cleared that night when I got home. I was the last person on my block that cleared my driveway and my sidewalks, and yet that was a week and a half ago.
Longmont Municipal Code, which deals with shoveling snow and ice from the sidewalk, states that you must have any sidewalks adjacent to your property free and clear of snow and ice 24 hours after snowfall. So that means 24 hours after the snow has stopped falling, you better be out there doing something.
Shoveling ordinances are common in Front Range cities. All have had their share of problems with people not clearing their walks within the 24-hour grace period. But Longmont Code Enforcement Supervisor Diana Dunn doesn't have time to seek out offenders. She has her hands full responding to complaints.
I go out and either verbally warn the people. If they're not home, then I leave them a notice explaining that they have 24 hours to get it taken care of. And then if they don't do it, then a summons to courts will be issued.
Dunn says everyone is responsible for shoveling their walks to avoid ticketing. Vacationers need to make arrangements in the event snow falls in their absence. Elderly citizens can obtain information about free shoveling from the Longmont Senior Center. When we return to Longmont this week, some more information about the cold and the snow. Tips on avoiding immobile cars in sub-zero temperatures, what you can do in the way of preventative maintenance to keep your car from stalling. Stay with us.
Listen to the heartbeat of America.
Need a lift?
Listen to the heartbeat.
Driving a new Chevy from Hayek isn't just a daydream. Come see the exciting new Beretta and Sportside pickup. Hayek Chevy Olds, 1330 Main in Longmont.
Everyone today needs help with their investments and planning for their future financial needs. Hello, I'm Murray Raffel, Certified Financial Planner.
I'm Gus Davis, Investment Specialist.
I'm Jerry Bryan, Certified Public Accountant.
We've got the team to help you reach your financial goals. To speak to professionals of Integrated Resources Equity Corporation, call 530-7278 in Boulder, 776-6412 in Longmont, or 669-3800 in Loveland. Member NESD, SIPC.
Sub-zero temperatures have plagued the Front Range for weeks. Meteorologists attribute the recent cold weather to an upslope condition caused by a low-pressure system west of the Continental Divide, coupled with a high-pressure system east of the divide. Now, if you can stay inside next to the heater during this cold weather, it isn't so bad. But for those of us who need to drive around in the cold, the near-Arctic weather can wreak havoc with our cars. Despite the frozen snow and ice-covered streets, many cars are out and running smoothly. Some, however, weren't as lucky.
Oh, we notice a lot more breakdowns on the cars. We get numerous calls every day. Cars won't start, they won't move, transmissions freeze up. The heaters, of course, driving long and no heat from the heaters, so everyone is concerned about that. A lot of times on just the heater systems alone, it's just due to lack of maintenance. People are not checking their cooling systems, making sure they're full of coolant, not making sure that there is plenty of antifreeze in the car. Number one, they should have it down to at least 30 below zero to protect them, and especially in this type of weather.
So how can we avoid stalled cars, rebellious in the cold? Some preventative measures before the cold strikes is the best way.
They should take it to their local dealer, is the best preventative maintenance, and let them go through their complete cooling system and engine checklist. It's too numerous of items to mention right now, but if they would take it to their authorized dealer, and they can check everything as far as lubricants, the transmission condition, as far as the fluid, has it been changed in the last 2 years or so. Check the cooling system, see if it needs to be flushed out, a new antifreeze put in. It should be changed about every 2 years.
And the proper oil, not to mention changing it at regular intervals, certainly helps.
And this isn't very often, is someone will either bring their car in or have it towed in because it won't run or something like this, and what the problem is they haven't changed the oil in the car in so long that the oil is so thick we can't even drain it out of the crankcase, and consequently the engine won't turn over. In the wintertime, these cold temperatures, they definitely need to keep the oil and filter changed regularly and put a lighter weight oil in for the wintertime, because the cold normally will just cause it to thicken to, you just can't believe how much it'll thicken.
Davis says winterizing your car, a service his shop provides for $34.95, is the cheapest insurance against cold-related car calamities. Starting cold cars wasn't the worst of the overnight below zero weather this week. City crews were greeted by a broken water main on South Pratt Parkway early Monday morning. As much as 500 gallons of water per minute poured out of the line. It took quite some time to shut the main down because of snow and ice buildup in the drains and valve boxes. Apparently, the cold prompted a shift in the ground surrounding the water main, causing it to break. Although the main services most of southern Longmont, only the immediate area surrounding the break was affected. Colder weather means cold bodies, and if we don't take the proper precautions, some of us can fall victim to frostbite. But the snow and ice causes its share of problems. Lifting heavy snow while shoveling can cause serious strain on an out-of-shape heart, and the ice can be treacherous if you're not careful. Watch your step. 4 people were admitted to Longmont United Hospital with fractures after falling on the ice. But the cold and the accumulating snow this week can be just as harmful.
Older people shoveling snow that are outside, it takes them more energy to keep their body warm. So they need to not use so much exertion, which increases their risk of having a heart attack. If they smoke, drink a lot, eat like high cholesterol foods, their risks are increased. And this cold weather also is an added risk factor to that. People who are outside, children and stuff, they need to keep their hands covered, and especially their head, because you lose a lot of heat from your head.
Jack Frost has bitten a few people this cold spell, causing frozen skin that doesn't go away.
We've had quite a couple of incidents with people with their feet that have been skiing, have frostbite on their toes, because they put their boots down so tight that they cut off the circulation, and a sign of that is when your skin turns white. It's a real good sign. People that don't protect their face, their noses and ears, can also turn white, and that's a real good sign, and they'll have, you know, that for the rest of their life. It doesn't go away.
So what do you do to beat the cold and keep yourself warm and healthy?
My best advice I can give people for like frostbite and hypothermia is dress in layers. You can always take something off. And for people over 40 and 50 years old, 60 years old, not to shovel snow. Get someone to do it for them, because the added exertion puts them at a real risk for it. Anybody that has a cardiac history like angina or something, I would say no, don't do it. And if you start feeling short of breath, stop immediately.
According to forecasters, the cold will keep its distance for the time being. Temperatures in the 40s are predicted for next week, so maybe we can put away the long underwear for a while. Coming up next on Longmont this week, what to do with that old Christmas tree. Instead of tossing it aside with the rest of the garbage, the city's found a use for them. We'll tell you how to recycle your tree next. Stay with us.
Boy, I sure had fun today. Me too. Dad showed me how to play racquetball. Ready?
Ready.
The Longmont Athletic Club. Don't just be good to yourself, be good to the whole family. For membership information, call 772-4700.
Longmont City Councilman Carl Johnson pleaded not guilty to a charge of illegally registering a vehicle to a residence outside the county. Johnson and his wife Sylvia were cited December 11th. The illegal registrations involved the couple's 1986 Lincoln Continental and 1987 Chevrolet pickup truck. Both vehicles were registered to the home of Sylvia Johnson's parents in Frederick. However, the Johnsons have paid the city of Longmont for taxes owed on both vehicles. After the Christmas presents have been opened and the wrapping paper has been picked up, the Christmas tree sits alone in the living room. Then you pack up all the lights and ornaments away for another year and take your tree out to the walk for the garbage men to pick up. So then what happens? Jim Wood brings us the rest of the story.
The Christmas tree. What was so treasured and valued on December 25th quickly becomes useless and discarded by January 5th. Every year families search high and low for the perfect tree to adorn and photograph, only to toss them cruelly aside. What memories do all these trees hold? What stories could they tell? Some still hold vestiges of Christmas cheer and holiday mirth. A few are wrapped tightly in plastic before they're left out. Were these trees loved more by their former owners? Or did their favorite football team simply fail to make the playoffs? No matter their heritage, all the Christmas trees from Boulder County have a common future in 1988.
Okay, what we're doing is we're collecting all the trees that the residents put out, and we're salvaging the trees in one piece, and we're donating them to the county for their fish habitat program out at Longmont Reservoir. The way the city used to do it is they used to use a central location, bring all the trees to a central location, use our limb chippers to chip them up and make chips out of them, and then they'd haul the chips out to the landfill to dispose of them.
As Sanitation Supervisor Mike Duncan explained, your Christmas tree will soon be a home for a happy fish. He also explained how the process works.
What they're going to do is they're going to bind the trees together with chicken wire and baling wire and make a reef type effect out of it, and then they're going to lay that on the bottom of the lake, and the trees are supposed to stay intact for years. They shouldn't have to redo it again for another 5 or 10 years, that reservoir.
In addition to helping stock the reservoirs, the program will also help the sanitation landfill.
We've already hauled an estimated of, I'd say, about 400 to 500 yards of trees out there. And of course that saves the landfill space, and since we are getting near closure, we need all the space we can get.
And Mike told me no matter which procedure you use to put your tree in front of your house, they'll still try and pick it up.
Some people stick them up in the snow, of course, and they look like regular trees standing there, and you know, but they're going through and they're picking them all up. And if they're up by the garages and stuff, they're going ahead and walking up and picking them up there. Then, like I said, we will be by next week again and go through the whole town again next week to collect anything that people didn't get put out.
So now you'll know what that big pile of trees is out at the Boulder County Fairgrounds, or perhaps you'd like to go out there and shop early for next year's Christmas tree.
Mike Duncan said that the city will be supplying trees for the county project for the next 5 years. Next on Longmont this week, business reporter Murray Raffel will give us some tips on spending and investing in 1988. But first, here's our community bulletin board. Send your announcements to Longmont This Week, 1200 South Sunset Street, Longmont, Colorado, 80501.
heart surgery. To perform it, doctors need vital information. At an IBM scientific center in England, computer researchers and doctors are transforming X-rays into three-dimensional models of a patient's arteries and beating heart. This experimental project is an example of innovation at IBM, and it could be another way computers help doctors save lives.
Murray Raffel joins us now with a financial outlook for 1988, and I hear you've got a preview for us.
Amy, we're going to take a look at what happened during 1987 to investments, and there's a little bit of a scorecard.
Okay,
so let's
sounds
go.
good.
Thanks. 1987 was an interesting year in the investment business, and let's take a look at what happened. Silver bullion was up 24.6%, soybeans up 23.7%, gold bullion up 21.9%, wheat up 13.2%, international stocks up 12.7%, and many of us will remember that the internationals at one point last year, some of them are up over 80%. One-year CDs up 6.2%, money market mutual funds up 6.1%, the Standard & Poor's stock index up 4.9%, balanced mutual funds up 3.5%, and again, at one point last year, many balanced mutual funds were up over 30%. Growth mutual funds up 2%. We had many growth funds up over 50%. Fixed income funds up 0.6%, and municipal bond funds up 0.1%. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to interview Blaine Alley. Blaine is the president of First Bank North here in Longmont, and asked Blaine some of his comments and outlooks for 1988. Blaine, thanks for joining us. And as a bank president, what do you see happening for the economy during 1988?
Well, Murray, I'm very cautiously optimistic for 1988. We thought at the end of 1986, when we went into 1987, that things were going to be great. But we had a tough year. 87 was a very difficult year. And so we're suggesting to people this year that we're cautious and to be cautious in their banking and their investing and their borrowings.
Mm-hmm. Where do you see interest rates going? What's your feel for that area?
Well, although we are optimistic, I still feel that interest rates probably will be flat and perhaps even go down a little bit in 1988. This is an election year, and that typically is what happens.
How about mortgage rates?
Mortgage rates are, well, they're flat at this point. We are seeing them drop off a little bit. There's a lot of money in the market right now, and I think that we may see mortgage rates drop off, and we may see some good buys and some bargains out there for people.
Do you have any tips for people that want to borrow money now?
Well, timing is fairly good. As I said, there is a lot of money, and I can speak for our banks at this point, the First Bank Group. We're offering some special incentives for people that want to borrow, with especially the home equity lines of credit and the home equity loans, where you can get some tax advantages there, and we're offering some 8.5% and 9.9% interest rates on those kinds of loans.
What are your money market fund rates right now?
Well, of course, interest rates aren't very good, because where you have a lot of money available and you don't have a lot of sources to put out, the rates that we're paying, we admit, are not very high. And they're generally below 7% currently.
Blaine, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
October 19th of 1987 marked Black Monday. This week we had Black Friday, with the Dow falling over 140 points. So it's going to be interesting to see what 1988 brings, Amy, for this market.
Well, Murray, can you tell me what lessons did investors learn during that market correction of October 19th?
Amy, I think the main lessons are, number one, don't be greedy. I think the people that were greedy really got hurt. Those people that were greedy went out and borrowed money to buy stocks, wanting to get massive wealth. They got hurt dramatically. I think the second thing is to diversify. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. A lot of people, it's like almost going to a horse race. You bet all your money in one horse and hoping it's going to win. And the other thing is, I think, seek professional management. Oftentimes it's so difficult for people to manage their own portfolio because they're so busy. And I think the last factor is don't panic. So many people, if you invest for the long term instead of the short term, I think you're a lot better off. So those are my comments, Amy, on what I think some of the lessons that a lot of people learned during that tumultuous 1988.
Well,
or excuse me, 87.
You would know, Murray. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Finally on Longmont this week, a salute to the outstanding athletes of the St. Vrain Valley's 1987 high school football season. LCC manager Greg Griffin presented Player of the Week awards at the end of December.
Hello, I'm Greg Griffin, General Manager for Longmont Communications Corporation. We're part of the Scripps Howard Cable Television Group. We at Scripps Howard and Channel 3 are proud of the area's youth. This year, we've implemented a new program to honor the St. Vrain Valley's finest athletes. This fall, after each home football game, a Scripps Howard Player of the Week was chosen. It's an award based on the skill and effort put forth by a player to help his team do their best on the field. Today, I'd like to congratulate those players and honor them with a plaque listing each player's name and the date of the game he was chosen for. I'd like to introduce you to a couple of the players who received the Scripps Howard Award. Eric McDonald, running back for the Longmont Trojans, is a three-time winner of the Player of the Week Award. Congratulations, Eric.
Thanks.
The awards for Eric are for November 14th, 1987, December 5th, 1987, and also October 2nd, 1987. Congratulations, Eric. Chad Olinger played quarterback for the Niwot Cougars. Chad received the Player of the Week award for the Loveland-Niwot game. And that game was on October 23rd, 1987. Congratulations, Chad.
Thanks.
The players not with us today are Kenny Hills, quarterback for the Longmont Trojans, Mike DeRock, running back for the Skyline Falcons, Jim Simpson, linebacker for the Longmont Trojans, and Steve Haslett, running back for the Skyline Falcons. Once again, congratulations to these outstanding young athletes in the St. Vrain Valley. Keep up the good work and best of luck in the future.
Well, that's it for Longmont this week. For the rest of the staff and crew, I'm Amy Batten. Thanks for joining us and have a nice
When you buy or sell your home through Coldwell Banker, the Pratt Group, you will be affiliated with the #1 real estate company in America. We are a member of Sears Financial Network. With 30 full-time agents, we can serve you 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. We sell Longmont and have ultimate exposure with our Marketing Information Center located in the Twin Peaks Mall. Coldwell Banker, the Pratt Group, a leader in the resale home market and also serving several new home subdivisions throughout the Front Range. From Coldwell Banker, the Pratt Group, we care about you and your needs.
You wouldn't believe all the things going on at Shakey's. It's lighter. Ooh, it's brighter. Ooh, it's got an incredible salad bar. But wait, there's more. Like Shakey's fantastic luncheon buffet. You get pizza, you get pasta, you get chicken, and you get salad. And that's not all. You get a low, low price. This offer's for a limited time, so you better get moving. You're not moving.